This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. The following update is for the bridge fire affecting the communities of Wrightwood, Pinion Hills, and surrounding areas. As of the time of this report, the fire has burned 54,878 acres with 79% containment. 2,549 personnel assigned to the blaze, 15 helicopters, 120 fire engines, 31 bulldozers, 17 water tenders, and 63 crews have been utilized in firefighting efforts overall. In addition, numerous firefighting air tankers from throughout the state of California continue to fly fire suppression missions as conditions allow, and full containment is expected within a few days. The cause of the fire is still under investigation by fire authorities. Most, but not all, highways and roads have been reopened for residents to return to their homes as most evacuation orders have been lifted. Power and utility companies are continuing their efforts to restore services to the affected burn areas, with the most remote areas likely to take the longest. Burned power poles are being replaced, and road crews continue to make repairs to pavement as general mop-up continues. CAL FIRE's Damage Assessment Team reports that a total of 81 structures have been destroyed, 17 have been damaged, and 5 people have been injured in relation to the bridge fire. The line fire near Redlands has burned 39,232 acres and is 75% contained. There has been minimal fire activity with the exception of continued smoldering and isolated flare-up. Firefighters continue to monitor control lines and mop up hot spots. Resources assigned to the line fire were 1,750 firefighting personnel, 4 helicopters, 105 fire engines, 24 dozers, 15 water tenders, 48 crews, and 39 support staff. Numerous air tankers also provided support, but had to cease operations for a time as privately operated drones were being flown in the burn areas. Drones can cause significant damage or even loss of life if impacted with an aircraft during flight. Utility companies continue to restore power and replace burned power poles as road crews work to repair pavement and clear debris. Highway 330 remains closed northbound from Highland Avenue to Live Oak. Damage assessment teams have reported that 4 structures have been damaged, 1 structure has been completely destroyed, and 4 injuries have been reported. For the latest details and information, visit fire.ca.gov. The Pinion Hills and Wrightwood post offices have reopened and have resumed delivering mail to their respective areas. Any mailbox that was burned or is unusable will not receive mail and should be reported to the local post office. The Snowline Joint Unified School District has reopened as of Monday, September 23rd. This includes all classes at each school campus. Once again, for non-emergency needs, such as shelter information, evacuations, housing, transportation, utilities, health care, and more, call 211. Criminals have found another way to try and install a virus or gain backdoor access to your computer. It is called a drop attack. A thumb drive is dropped with the hope that it'll be picked up and you will open the thumb drive out of curiosity. Criminals drop a USB drive infected with ransomware where it will be found and used by the unwary. They've also been known to send infected drives through the mail. Such attacks are known as USB drop attacks. The FBI has warned of such drop attacks being carried out with USB drives being mailed through the United States Postal Service and UPS. You are advised never plug a USB drive from an unknown source into your computer. The National Security Agency recommends powering off and on your smartphone every week to protect yourself from cyber attacks. Rebooting your smartphone weekly helps protect against zero-click exploits, which attackers use to eavesdrop and gather data from phones. While rebooting won't completely thwart more advanced schemes, many modern cyber attacks involve a sequence of multiple vulnerabilities that need to be exploited in succession. Restarting your phone makes the attacker start over, which can disrupt their progress. Restarting your phone not only helps you avoid cyber attacks, but it also makes your phone run smoothly. Manufacturers recommend restarting your phone regularly to prevent it from slowing down or freezing. A quick restart clears out background apps, fixes overheating, resolves memory issues, and improves call signals, even if it's just for a short time. Most importantly, it gives your device a fresh start, which means smoother performance and a longer-lasting battery. This applies to both Android phones and iPhones. Everywhere you turn, there's another online scam. The fraudsters always pivot where the attention is, and now that's politics and elections. Beware of phony donation campaigns. Please come in text messages, social media posts, and direct messages. Here are a few do's and don'ts for keeping your money safe. Do use a credit card. Checks and debit cards do not have the same scam protections. Do not give payment information over the phone. Don't click links. That includes those in emails, texts, or any other source. 4 Victorville educators are among teachers honored at the annual San Bernardino County Stars of Education ceremonies. Teachers of the year include Ronald Osborne from Liberty Preschool and Matthew Guzman from Del Rey Elementary. Teachers for tomorrow honorees are Olivia Fresquez, para-educator at Students Transitioning into Adult Responsibilities program, and Fardowasa Mohammed, para-educator at West Creek Elementary and Segrist Preschool in Victorville. The Teacher for Tomorrow program provides financial assistance to help support county school employees pursuing their teaching credentials. Recipients of the award receive monetary assistance with tuition, books, and other academic support services. Victorville residents looking for a way to make a positive impact in their community are urged to form a cleanup team and participate in the City of Victorville Community Cleanup Day on October 26th. The deadline for registering your family, community group, church group, or scout group is Friday, October 4th. Visit the website shown on your screen to register. Joseph W. Brady speaks out on presidential politics, starting with the Democratic National Convention.
Terry, I don't think there were any major surprises there. I will say this. I respect the amount of time that President Joe Biden, former Senator Joe Biden, spent in political office. What I didn't like was the fact that the Democratic Party, who talks about democracy, okay, which I think they talk outside of their mouth about it, okay, they talk about it when it's convenient, but when it's not, okay, they cut the guy's knees out. I have a friend of mine who is in Washington that knew exactly and told me immediately what they did. The big guys are writing the checks, called and said, we're not giving you more money. He had nowhere to go. So when they say that he decided to bow out, he had no choice. And what bothers me is we are brought up as Americans, I think, to tell the truth. Okay, how many of these people go to church on Sunday and they pray to God and then they come on out and they're not telling us the truth? Okay, I think that maybe I think Kamala might have picked Mr. Waltz a little bit too quickly. I don't know the process that they went through. He makes me really, really nervous because of his connections to China. 30 trips to China. He happened to get married the day he got married to his wife in 2014. 2004 was the 5-year anniversary of Tiananmen Square. Okay. He is big about China. I mean, we buy a lot of stuff that comes from China. I am concerned that Kamala probably is not as prepared as I think that she would like to be, or anybody in her position would like to be. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but you can't change your platform daily, and they're changing their platform. I mean, you can't go give every single home buyer $25,000 without wrecking the economy. You're not going to be able to build 3 million homes nationally. The state of California needs 3 million homes to begin with. So, I think just this report that just came out, it just came out this week. It says the Biden administration is responsible for not only the death of those 13 servicemen over in Afghanistan, but she was the last person in the room talking about it. So why is the media not talking about that? Okay, that makes me a little bit nervous. I have a great friend of mine by the name of Nick Benson. I mean, God bless Nick. He's just a great guy. We actually met in a rather challenging time back in Barstow years ago. He lives in Kingman, Arizona now. Very, very conservative. We both wrote letters to Donald Trump. I wrote mine in November 21st of 2022. I wrote it and we sent it to Mar-a-Lago overnight, and we sent it to his office in Virginia. He wrote his on July 24th of 2024 about trucking, about issues dealing with motorcycles and everything else that he deals with. Very, very, very well written letter. It tipped employees. He talked about tipped employees and truck drivers, which he was one. My letter was a little bit different than his. I wrote Trump back in 2022 and said, you know what? I loved all your policies. I hated your tweets. I hated some of the things that you did. You were the right guy at the right time. Whether you like Trump or not, he's a bully. He went on in there. I thought he was going to clean up the swamp. The swamp is so deep back there, Terry. I don't think that God could clean up the swamp. It's so bad. I mean, there's so many people that are dependent upon how our government works. At the end of the day, I said to him, I loved all these policies, but I said to him, please do me a favor and don't run again. Well, he ran again, and he's successful. So we are supporting him. But what I found interesting when you look at the policies that we have, okay, we've just gone through 4 years. So inflation is weighing up, gas prices are on up, crime is off the charts. You've got, the numbers go from 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. How many illegals have come on in here? Okay, I'm all about people coming to our country, and I think we need more people to come here, but we need them to vet it correctly. We need them to go through the process and do it correctly. To say to somebody, through the Biden administration, we're going to cancel your loan debt, where I might have gone and worked 3 jobs and done that, that's not fair. Okay, that's not America. But let me, I'll tell you one thing that Deb and I went to our high school reunion back in Colorado. I was the chairman of it, co-chair, with just a great group of guys. And we were done on Sunday, and I think that was the 18th, and we drove that day from Kansas City, Colorado to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then the next morning from Santa Fe to Sedona, where we love to go. And we timed it all to get there, get our stuff unpacked, have a nice big fat cocktail, and turn on the national convention. One thing I found interesting that week is Robert Kennedy's speech that he gave. I think it was Friday morning. I think it was 11 o'clock Arizona time. He was an hour late. I sat there and watched every word. I'm not a big Robert Kennedy guy, but I'll tell you this. When he said what he did to the American people, he was calling out the media. He was calling out the Democratic Party. He was talking about how really broke that we are. And I admire the fact that he had the guts to do that, because the fallout that he'll take within his family is deep. The gentleman that helped me create Bradco, James B. Tatum, who died many years ago. He had narcissism. His son Todd's still alive, and his Madeline is still around. He owned one of the Kennedy compound homes when Jim came to me and said, I think that you should be in business. So It was fun watching the convention. I don't think there's any ear shattering. I mean, what they brought up Trump's name like 325 times to bash him versus saying, what are we going to do? What is our plan? So there was no plan, and that plan keeps changing. So I'm bummed that tonight so you'll be able to know when we film this. This is Tuesday. I'll be at Victor Valley Community College with three other my trustee friends, and I won't be able to watch the debate. I'll watch it when I get on home. But let me read something that Deb found the other day that is just it's as, to me, this is as well written as what Robert Kennedy said. Okay, and I put on a must read. I usually don't. This something came off of Facebook. I usually don't post political stuff, but this sums it to me personally. Yes, personally, and we all have that right. No comments needed. We all must live with our choices. Someone recently asked me why I like Trump. My answer was, I don't really like things about Trump, but he is a very successful businessman, and this country is business. The election is not about choosing the most likable person. We are voting between two vastly different ideologies. We are voting for the country we want to leave to our children and grandchildren. Trump represents that future and has proven that he can deliver. He is a patriot to the core and has even served his country for 4 years without pay. That moment when someone says, I can't believe you're voting for Trump, I simply reply, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for the First Amendment and the freedom of speech. I'm voting for the right to speak my opinion and not be censored. I'm voting for secure borders and legal immigration. I'm voting for election integrity to include mandatory voter ID. Why would anyone want to vote without this? I'm voting for the Second Amendment and my right to defend my life and my family. I'm voting for the police to be respected once again. I'm voting for law and order and the end to allowing protesters to trespass and burn our cities, destroying innocent small businesses like Tim Waltz allowed to happen in Minnesota or Wisconsin. I'm voting for personal responsibility and the end of the revolving door where criminals are being put back in the street. I'm voting for the next Supreme Court justice to protect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I'm voting for a return of our troops from foreign countries and the end to America's involvement with foreign conflicts. I'm voting for the Electoral College and the republic to which we live. I'm voting for a continued appointment of federal judges who respect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I'm voting for keeping our jobs to remain in America and not to be outsourced all over the world to China, Mexico, and other foreign countries. I'm voting for doing away with the freebies given to all the illegals and not looking after the needs of the American citizens and our homelessness veterans. I'm voting for I'm voting for military and the veterans who fought for our country. I'm voting to keep men out of women's sports. I'm voting for peace progress in the Middle East. I'm voting to fight against human and child trafficking. I'm voting for the freedom of religion. I'm voting for the return of teaching math, history, and science instead of indoctrination to our children. I'm not just voting for one person. I'm voting for the future of my country. I'm voting for my children and my grandchildren to ensure their freedoms. America is the greatest country in the world, hence why everyone wants to immigrate here. So why would you want to change that? Why do politicians want to enact policies that have failed in other countries throughout history? I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for America. My name is Joseph W. Brady. I'm proud to be the president of Bradco Companies of Victorville, California. If you agree with me, that's great. If you don't, then just disrespect my opinion. I'm tired of being in a country that's so divided, and I'm tired of watching people not be able to reach their goals because they're competing against people that are being given things for free. So God bless America, and God bless our country, and God bless you that watch this. Thanks.
Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Zolu Quality Truck Body. Family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems. We Got 'em Tees. Your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. and by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. It is rattlesnake season in the high desert. Rattlesnakes give birth August to September. To the young, they can be more dangerous because their rattles have not developed yet, but they are just as venomous as adult rattlesnakes. Here are some helpful tips on staying safe on the trails or in your yard. Wear appropriate over-the-ankle hiking boots, thick socks, and loose-fitting long pants. Never go barefoot or wear sandals when walking through off-road areas. Avoid tall grass, weeds, rocks, and heavy underbrush where rattlesnakes like to hide during the day. Watch where you step and do not put your foot in or near a crevice where you cannot see. If a fallen tree or large rock is in your path, step up on it instead of over it. Check out stumps or logs before sitting down. Do not turn over rocks or logs. If you must move a rock or log, use gloves and roll it toward you, giving anything beneath it the opportunity to escape in the opposite direction. Never grab sticks or branches while swimming in lakes and rivers. Rattlesnakes can swim. Avoid approaching any snake you cannot positively identify as a safe species. Our Mojave green rattlers are said to have the deadliest venom of any viper. If you hear the warning rattle, move away from the area and do not make sudden or threatening movements in the direction of the rattlesnake. Remember, rattlesnakes do not always rattle before they strike. Do not handle a freshly killed rattlesnake. It can still inject venom. If bit, apply a bandage and keep calm and as still as possible. Do not cut the wound open. Do not apply a tourniquet. Don't apply ice. Don't drink alcohol or caffeine. They speed up absorption of the venom into your bloodstream. Do not elevate the bitten area above the level of your heart. Expect swelling, nausea, and possible effects of shock. Immobilize the limb. If alone and in a remote area with no cell phone reception, make your way slowly to where medical help can be contacted or you can receive attention and assistance. You should try to be receiving medical treatment within a half hour of being bitten. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free mobility devices. Do you know a senior in need of a mobility device? The Victor Valley Community Services Council provides free wheelchairs, walkers, bedside commodes, canes, and more to those who qualify. The agency recently received a generous donation of wheelchairs from High Desert Second Chance. For more information, please call 760-243-9646. A new website has been launched for First District news, events, and resources. The homepage is said to have everything a viewer needs at a glance, including a First District calendar, board meeting calendar and agendas, and contact information. The resources page shows tabs for helpful services, district activities, local chambers of commerce, and economic development links. The website is Americans with Disabilities Act compliant. One of the county's latest campaigns is Opportunity Lives, Works, and Plays Here. This partnership between the Economic and Workforce Development Departments aims to assist businesses and nonprofits with hiring, relocating, and/or expansion free of charge. They also have an on-the-job training program that reimburses businesses with 50% of a new hire's hourly wage and training expenses for up to 3 months. San Bernardino County birth and death certificates are now available online. San Bernardino County's Vital Statistics Registration Office has launched a new service that allows residents to purchase certified copies of birth and death certificates online. Currently, the service is available for births and deaths that occurred in the past 2 years. Records for events older than 2 years can be obtained at San Bernardino County Hall of Records. The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care. These grants are part of the BLM's efforts to encourage more adopters to give a wild horse or burro a good home. The Adoption Incentive Program provides up to $1,000 to adopt an untrained wild horse or burro from the BLM. The goal of the program is to reduce BLM's recurring costs to care for unadopted and untrained wild horses and burros, while helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years. Nowadays, most people know general guidelines when it comes to service dog etiquette. Refraining from petting a service dog while they are working is an important rule, along with knowing that legitimate service dogs are allowed to accompany their owners nearly everywhere. However, one topic that's rarely discussed is the very real possibility that one of these animals may approach you without their owner. Knowing what this means and how to respond appropriately may mean the difference between life and death for a service dog handler. Service dogs are specifically trained to assist people with disabilities, including visual impairments, hearing impairments, mobility impairments, and mental disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorder. Besides assisting the owners with daily activities or alerting them to an impending medical crisis, a service dog fulfills another vital role: to seek assistance from an adult if their handler experiences a fall or medical emergency. Know the signs. A service dog that's seeking assistance from a stranger may use their nose to nudge your arm, leg, or hand. As tempting as it may be to give a quick scratch behind the ears and be on your way, stop and think. Cue the dog to help you locate their owner by asking what or where, or simply begin following the dog. If you ever see a service dog wandering without their owner, stop what you're doing and follow them. Situations that may cause a service dog to abandon their handler in search of help include a fall, like out of a wheelchair or otherwise, a seizure, a diabetic episode, an injury, or other medical emergency. Your help is being sought to clear our San Bernardino County shelters by adopting, not shopping. If you are looking for a new four-legged friend, the First District is home to several animal shelters with dogs and cats in need of loving homes. Local shelters include the Hesperia Animal Shelter on Santa Fe Avenue and the Apple Valley Animal Shelter on Powhatan Road. For more information, please call 760-240-7555. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. Your half-hour High Desert Sports Report, the area's only video action highlights coverage of high school athletes, teams, and sports programs, Victor Valley College Rams, and Barstow College Vikings athletic events, including flashbacks to this date in High Desert sports and entertainment history. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.